A father in Florida called 911 after he noticed that his 11-year-old son was being sexually assaulted by an 18-year-old man by the name of Raymond Frolander. Now, he had come home, and Frolander had been a family friend for quite some time, and he noticed that there was something off. Something was really strange, and he asked Frolander what was going on. And at that point, his pants had fallen down, and the father noticed that there was something strange. He didn't get into details, but from what I can assume reading about this, he probably had an erect penis, right? At that point, he proceeded to beat the shit out of the 18-year-old because he realized that a sexual assault had just taken place. Now, at that point, he called 911, and here's what happened.
18-year-old Raymond Frolander said nothing as he went before a judge, but his face may have said it all. Black eyes, bruises, and a busted lip after he was beaten by the father of the child he's accused of molesting.
I just walked in and found a grown man molesting, and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
That father told a 911 operator he walked into his Holly Hill apartment just after midnight and caught Frolander with his 11-year-old son. We're not showing which apartment to protect the child's identity.
He is nice and knocked out on the floor for you. I drug him into the living room. Send him an ambulance. He's going to need one. Curled in the fetal position in a puddle of blood on my floor, and I loved him up until 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, wow. So that last part is really interesting. Like, because he was a really trusted family friend and been taking care of the kid before, and then the kid later says, yeah, actually he's been molesting me for years now. And the father says, I had loved him up until 15 minutes ago. And now that I found out he's doing this, he left him in a bloody mess. And of course, it's not going to be a lot of people who are criticizing the father too much there. Not a lot of, you know,
It's
compassion for the guy that was caught, and understandably so. Look, technically he shouldn't have done that, but how did the police react?
So the police are not planning on filing any charges against him. In fact, the police chief in the area, and this is in Daytona Beach, said that, you know, they're not planning on going after him. The fact that he witnessed a crime and he reacted in the way he did was totally fine. And so the police chief basically said that he would do the same thing. So look, we're not advocating for violence or anything, but I mean, I think anyone could understand why a father would react that way if he realizes that his 11-year-old son has just been molested by a family friend that he's been taking care of for some time.
And they asked the police chief if he had any issue with how the father reacted. He said, quote, not as a police chief and not as a father. So he's basically free to go. When the 911 dispatcher asked the father whether he used weapons to knock out Frolander, the father told the dispatcher, my fist and my foot. And finally, he said to the 18-year-old, you're damn lucky, boy, that I love my God. And he is indeed. Now, when you look at his face, he doesn't look like he's lucky. But of course, oof. So that beating was not insignificant. He definitely did some damage to him, there's no question. But if you had caught somebody with your 11-year-old son, what would you have done?